Hello my dear students, I am back again with my new video for students of class 12th from the subject business studies, and the topic is principles of management, and this is the second video on this topic. Students, I have already shared my first video, principles of management part 1, with you all. In that particular video we have discussed the meaning of principles of management, the nature, the characteristics of principles of management, and we all have studied the 14 principles of management given by Henry Fayol. So students, let's take a quick recap of the previous topics which we have discussed earlier. In the previous topic we have discussed the meaning, features and significance of principles of management. Apart from these, I have explained you the 14 principles of management given by Mr. Henry Fayol, such as division of work, authority and responsibility, discipline, unity of command, unity of direction, remuneration of employees, subordination of individual interest to general interest, centralization and decentralization, order, scalar chain, equity, stability of personnel, initiative and spirit de corps. Now students, moving ahead in the chapter, we have to study scientific management. Like Mr. Henry Fayol has given 14 principles of management to us, same way Mr. F.W. Taylor has given the principles of scientific management. First of all, the full name of F.W. Taylor is Frederick Winslow Taylor. He is known as the father of scientific management, and he has given 4 principles of scientific management which helps to eliminate waste to ensure maximum production at minimum cost. Scientific management aims at elimination of waste things or waste material or waste activities from the organization, so we can achieve maximum production by incurring minimum cost. There were total 4 principles given by Taylor, such as science not rule of thumb, harmony not discord, cooperation not individualism, and development of workers to their greatest efficiency and prosperity. Students, the first principle given by Mr. Taylor was science not rule of thumb. Students, according to this principle, there should be scientific study and analysis of each element of a job in order to replace the old rule of thumb approach or hit and trial method. Mr. Taylor believed that there was only one best method to maximize efficiency, and only that particular method can be developed through study and analysis. It means we do not have to try all the alternatives. हमारे पास जितने भी ऑप्शंस हैं हमें सारे नहीं ट्राई करने. हिट एंड ट्रायल का मतलब होता है कि वी विल यूज़ ईच एंड एवरी मेथड. हम सारे मेथड्स को एक एक बार यूज़ करके देखेंगे, ट्राई करके देखेंगे, और जो भी मेथड बेस्ट सूटेबल होगा हम वो यूज़ करेंगे. ऐसा करने से वी विल वेस्ट आवर टाइम, वी विल वेस्ट आवर रिसोर्सेज ऑल्सो. Mr. Taylor emphasized that only one best method should be adopted to maximize the efficiency. The method was so developed should substitute rule of thumb throughout the organization. आगे अगर आप इसकी बात करें, इसका मतलब सिंपल सा था that scientific method involved investigation of traditional methods through work study, unifying the best practices and developing a standard method of work. Students, we should be constantly experimenting to develop new techniques which make the work much simpler, easier and quicker. हमें वो टेक्निक्स या वो मेथड्स को फॉलो करना चाहिए जो हमारे वर्क को सिंपल, ईजी और क्विक, जल्दी कर दें. एंड हम लोग को ऐसी ही टेक्निक्स या ऐसी ही साइंटिफिक टेक्निक्स को अडॉप्ट करना है। दिस वॉज द बेसिक concept of this particular principle, which is named as science, not rule of thumb. Students, in this context only, the second principle was harmony, not discord. Harmony, not discord simply means that there should be mental revolution on part of managers and workers in order to respect each other's roles and eliminate any class of conflict to realize organizational objectives. It simply means that there should be complete harmony and proper understanding between the management and workers. अगर मैनेजमेंट और वर्कर के बीच में हारमोनी होगी, एक प्रॉपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग होगी, तो ही हम ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को अचीव कर पाएंगे। और अगर मैनेजमेंट और वर्कर्स के बीच में हारमोनी नहीं होगी, डिस्कॉर्ड या कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स होंगे, तो we will be unable to achieve our organizational objectives. It will also waste our resources, our time, and it will also decrease our effectiveness and efficiency. So, and it simply means the management and the workers should work together for achieving the organizational goals. Both means the management and the worker should give up their attitude of opposition towards each other and have a positive feeling for each other. एक दूसरे के प्रति जो एटीट्यूड है, एक दूसरे की जो कमियां निकालने की आदत है, या एक दूसरे को क्रिटिसाइज़ करने की जो हैबिट है, उसको हमें अलग रख के एक म्यूचुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग से कोऑपरेशन एंड कोऑर्डिनेशन के साथ वर्क को कैरी करना है, ताकि हम अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को अचीव कर सकें. इट मीन्स that the management and workers should transform their thinking. सोच में बदलाव लाने की ज़रूरत है मैनेजमेंट को भी और वर्कर्स को भी. According to Mr. Taylor, the management and the workers are the one and the same only. Means management and worker are both the sides of a single coin. बिना मैनेजमेंट के वर्कर्स एग्जिस्ट नहीं करेंगे एंड बिना वर्कर्स के मैनेजमेंट एग्जिस्ट नहीं करेगा. बोथ आर इंटरडिपेंडेंट ऑन ईच अदर. सो देयर शुड बी अ फीलिंग of cooperation, there should be a feeling of coordination, there should be harmony in the relations between the management and the workers. There should not be any type of conflicts, any type of chaos, any type of confusion, or any type of ego or attitude problem between the both. Only this will help an organization to achieve its goals. Students, moving ahead, the next principle is cooperation, not individualism. According to this principle, there should be cooperation between management and workers, first of all. Secondly, this particular principle is the extension of harmony, not discord. अभी हमने harmony and not discord पढ़ा, उसमें जो हमने पढ़ा सिर्फ उसका ये extension है. Competition should be replaced by cooperation. Both management and worker should realize the need and importance of each other. एक दूसरे से compete करने से अच्छा है कि एक दूसरे का साथ दें. एंड ये मैनेजमेंट और वर्कर्स दोनों को रियलाइज़ करने की ज़रूरत है कि दैट बोथ द पार्टीज़ आर इंटरडिपेंडेंट ऑन ईच अदर एंड विदाउट द इन्वॉल्वमेंट ऑफ एनी वन पार्टी द सेकेंड विल नॉट एग्जिस्ट. एंड if there will be any type of conflict or chaos between both the parties, it will create an atmosphere of chaos, atmosphere of conflict in the organization. The management should encourage constructive suggestions by employee through proper rewards. अगर employees ने आपको कुछ सजेशंस दिए हैं एंड इफ़ दोज सजेशंस आर बेनिफिशियल फॉर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, देन द मैनेजमेंट शुड एक्सेप्ट दोज सजेशंस एंड फॉर गुड सजेशंस द एम्प्लॉय शुड बी रिवॉर्डेड. अगर उसके सजेशंस के लिए उसको रिवॉर्ड दिया जाएगा तो वो और कमिटमेंट और मोटिवेशन के साथ काम करेगा. सेकेंडली, जो अदर एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं, अदर एम्प्लॉयज़ विल ऑल्सो गेट मोटिवेटेड कि वो भी फिर they will think for new suggestions and new ideas, so that they can also be rewarded and they can also be appreciated in front of everyone. So this was the basic motive of this particular principle. And management should take workers into confidence before making any important decision. वर्कर शुड बी टेकन इनटू कॉन्फिडेंस. बिना वर्कर्स को कॉन्फिडेंस में लिए मैनेजमेंट को कोई भी डिसीजन नहीं लेना चाहिए. बिकॉज जो भी प्लान्स और पॉलिसीज़ मैनेजमेंट बनाता है, जो भी डिसीजंस लेता है, उसको इम्प्लीमेंट किस पे किया जाता है? वर्कर्स पे. और उस पर वर्क कौन करता है? वर्कर्स. सो वर्कर्स शुड ऑल्सो बी टेकन इनटू कॉन्फिडेंस दैट दे आर satisfied or they are comfortable with the decision or not. And in this context only, students, the last is development of each worker to their greatest efficiency and prosperity. Students, according to this principle, management should aim to develop workers to their greatest efficiency and prosperity. The concern of efficiency should start from selection process. Every organization should follow a scientific system of selection. The selected workers should be assigned job as per their physical, mental and intellectual capabilities. किसी भी एम्प्लॉय को सेलेक्ट करने से पहले एक प्रॉपर साइंटिफिक प्रोसीजर को फॉलो किया जाना चाहिए, और उस प्रोसीजर को फॉलो करने के बाद आपने जिस भी एम्प्लॉय को सेलेक्ट किया है उसको वर्क असाइन किया जाना चाहिए अकॉर्डिंग टू हिज मेंटल लेवल, अकॉर्डिंग टू हिज क्वालिफिकेशन, अकॉर्डिंग टू हिज नॉलेज एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू द फील्ड ऑफ एक्सपर्टीज. एंड what will this give to us? It will give us efficiency. And to increase the efficiency and to achieve maximum potential of the workers, they should be provided training also. This will ensure their greatest efficiency and prosperity for both company and workers. A proper training, a scientific procedure for selection, this will give you the worker who is very efficient, and you will able, and the organization will be able to extract a lot from him to achieve the organizational objectives. So these were the 4 scientific principles given by Mr. F.W. Taylor. Apart from this, there were some techniques of scientific management, and the techniques were functional foremanship, standardization and simplification of work, method study, motion study, time study, fatigue study and differential piece wage system. These were the 7 techniques which was given by Mr. Taylor, and these are known as the techniques of scientific management, which should be followed by every organization to achieve maximum efficiency and to achieve its organizational objectives. So one by one we will discuss each and every technique. So the first technique is functional foremanship. Functional foremanship, student, simply means, Mr. Taylor ने कहा कि there should be basically 2 main departments or 2 basic main in charges in the organization. First is the planning in charge and second is the production in charge. और इन दोनों के अंडर हम 4 पोस्ट्स क्रिएट करेंगे. प्लानिंग इन चार्ज के अंडर इंस्ट्रक्शन कार्ड क्लर्क, रूट क्लर्क, टाइम एंड कॉस्ट क्लर्क एंड डिसिप्लिनरियन होगा. और प्रोडक्शन इंचार्ज में स्पीड बॉस, गैंग बॉस, रिपेयर बॉस और इंस्पेक्टर होगा. दिस वाज द बेसिक फॉर्मेशन ऑफ दिस टेक्निक. देयर आर 8 टाइप्स ऑफ स्पेशलाइज्ड प्रोफेशनल्स, 4 each under planning and execution or production in charge, who will keep a watch on all the workers. ये जो हमने 4 पोस्ट क्रिएट की दोनों डिपार्टमेंट्स या दोनों हेड्स के अंदर, इनका काम था कि हर वर्कर के ऊपर चेक रखना, उनको चेक करते रहना, उनको इंस्पेक्ट करते रहना। लाइक इंस्ट्रक्शन कार्ड क्लर्क का काम था टू ड्राफ्ट इंस्ट्रक्शंस फॉर द वर्कर्स। रूट क्लर्क टू स्पेसिफाई द रूट ऑफ द प्रोडक्शन। टाइम एंड कॉस्ट क्लर्क टू प्रिपेयर टाइम एंड कॉस्ट शीट कि कितने टाइम में काम होना चाहिए और टोटल कितनी कॉस्ट इनकर की जानी चाहिए। एंड द लास्ट जो हमको चेक करेगा टू इंश्योर द डिसिप्लिन एक्टिविटीज़ ऑफ द बिजनेस। सो ये जो 4 प्रोफेशनल्स थे अंडर द प्लानिंग इंचार्ज, उनका काम ये था। प्रोडक्शन इंचार्ज के अंदर स्पीड बॉस, गैंग बॉस, रिपेयर बॉस और इंस्पेक्टर आते हैं। इनके वर्क्स थे, Speed boss was responsible to ensure the timely and accurately completion of the job timely और accurately complete हो जाए। Gang boss का basic work था to keep the machine and tools ready for the production and for the workers। रिपेयर बॉस नाम से ही समझ में आता है, टू इंश्योर प्रॉपर वर्किंग कंडीशन ऑफ द मशीन्स एंड टूल्स। एंड इंस्पेक्टर ही विल चेक द क्वालिटी ऑफ द वर्क। सो दिस वाज द बेसिक डाइवर्सिफिकेशन of the organization, that the whole organization should be divided into 2 parts. First part should be given to the planning in charge and another part should be given to the production in charge. And under both the in charges 4 posts were created and each particular post has its own responsibility and job. The next was standardization and simplification of work. Standardization and simplification of work simply means it refers to the process of setting a standard for every phase of business organization. It means fixing of certain standard in quality and quantity of goods by using standard equipments, material, production method, etc. There should be a standard of everything. We should use a very good quality raw material. The machines should be of very good standard. The production methods should be of good standard. And these standards should act as the benchmarks during the production. Similarly, the working conditions, that is the temperature, lighting, ventilation, humidity, should all be standardized. The main basic objective of standardization was to establish interchangeability of manufactured part and products, to establish a standard of excellence and quality in materials. तो ये तो बात हो गई standardization की. What do you mean by simplification? Simplification simply means elimination of superfluous or unnecessary varieties of product manufactured by the organization. It simply means elimination of unnecessary diversity of product size and types. जो unnecessary हैं, जो waste हैं, उनको बिल्कुल eliminate किया जाना चाहिए. It implies reduced inventories, fuller utilization of resources, and it also results in saving cost of labor, machine, tools, and facilitates better control of activities. So this was the basic meaning of this technique, that is standardization and simplification of work. Moving on, students, next was the method study. Method study is considered with finding one best way of doing a job. The job should be done by using only one way. वी शुड नॉट यूज़ ऑल द ऑल्टरनेटिव्स, मतलब जितने भी ऑल्टरनेटिव्स हो सकते हैं हमें सारे नहीं ट्राई करने चाहिए. जो सबसे बेस्ट वे है उसी वे को हम अडॉप्ट करेंगे. देखिए, देयर आर वेरियस मेथड्स ऑफ डूइंग अ जॉब. टू डिटरमाइन द बेस्ट वे देयर आर सेवरल पैरामीटर्स. द सर्च फॉर द बेस्ट मेथड्स starts from raw material and continues till the final product is manufactured or it is delivered to the customer. It means सबसे बेस्ट वे यूज़ होना चाहिए, चाहे वो रॉ मटेरियल का सिलेक्शन हो, चाहे वो मशीन्स का यूज़ हो, टूल्स का यूज़ हो, लेबर्स का यूज़ हो, या जब तक रॉ मटेरियल एक फिनिश्ड प्रोडक्ट में कन्वर्ट होकर कस्टमर्स तक नहीं पहुंच जाता, हम एक पर्टिकुलर बेस्ट वे को ही यूज़ करेंगे, बेस्ट मेथड ही यूज़ करेंगे. द मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ मेथड स्टडी is to minimize the cost of production and maximize quality and satisfaction of customers. मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव था कि कॉस्ट कम से कम लगे, क्वालिटी सबसे बेस्ट हो और हमारे कस्टमर्स हमसे सेटिस्फाइड हो. नेक्स्ट इज़ द मोशन स्टडी. मोशन स्टडी इट रेफर्स टू मेकिंग अ थरो एनालिसिस of various motions being performed by a worker while he is doing a particular task. Motion study involves study of movement like lifting, putting objects, sitting and changing positions. These are the basic movements which are involved in motion study. The purpose is to detect and eliminate unnecessary movements or motion and to find out the best method of doing a particular job. It will help in saving our time and increasing our production. Taylor suggested that stopwatches, cameras or various symbols or colors should be used to identify different motions. Students, next is the time study. Time study simply means it refers to a technique which is used to determine the standard time taken by a workman of reasonable skill and ability to perform a well-defined job. Student, it aims to determine the standard time required to do a particular job. एक particular job या एक particular task को complete करने में total कितना standard time लगता है, उसकी study time study कहलाती है. It does not develop any new method of doing the job. It only determines the standard time which is required to complete that particular job. Taylor suggested that we can use a stopwatch. It is conducted with the help of stopwatch, and the main objectives of this particular study was to determine the number of workers to be employed and to determine the labor cost. Next is, students, the fatigue study. Fatigue study simply means that your workers are working continuously with you, so there should be a different intervals for rest for the workers. This particular study refers to determining the amount and frequency of rest intervals required in completing a task. एक पर्टिकुलर वर्कर लगातार कई आवर्स तक काम नहीं कर सकता, इट इज़ इम्पॉसिबल. सो रेगुलर इंटरवल्स पर उसको रेस्ट देना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, बिकॉज अगर उसको रेगुलर इंटरवल पे हम रेस्ट देते हैं तो रेस्ट करने के बाद ही विल फील मोर एनर्जेटिक, he will feel more motivated and he will complete the work with good speed and good efficiency. But अगर हम उसको रेस्ट नहीं देते हैं तो after a certain point of time he will not do the work with the same speed, he will become lazy. So fatigue simply means tiredness from physical or mental work. It means that a person gets tired when he works continuously without a break. So he must be provided a brief rest interval in between, so as to enable him to regain the lost stamina. This will result in increased productivity. Fatigue study seeks to determine the amount and frequency of rest intervals in completing a task. And students, the last technique is differential piece wage system. It is a system in which efficient and inefficient our workers are paid at different rates. जैसा जिसका काम वैसी उसको payment. The payment should be according to the work, according to the knowledge, according to the efficiency, according to the discipline showed by him. So if you are paying same wages to an efficient and to an inefficient worker both, it will create an environment of conflict in the business organization. So the financial incentives paid to the workers should differ. According to Taylor, financial incentives act as motivators. The payment or the money given to the worker act as motivators. So the basic purpose of fixing two rates is to differentiate between efficient and inefficient workers and to suitably reward the efficient workers. Secondly, when the inefficient worker will be paid less in comparison to the efficient worker, then he will also work in the same way, in the same manner, with more commitment and more motivation, so that he can also get that particular amount. So students, this was all about for this chapter. Students, in the first video we have discussed the 14 principles given by Mr. Henry Fayol, and in this part of video we have discussed the 4 scientific principles given by F.W. Taylor and the 7 techniques of scientific management, that what are the techniques through which an organization can achieve its objectives with full effectiveness and efficiency. I hope you will all enjoy this video and you will learn a lot from this video. And again, as I am saying, that if you have any query, any problem, I am always there for my dear students. You can ask me anytime personally. And now this was all about for this topic. So students, we have completed this topic, principles of management, and very soon I'll be there with my next video on the topic business environment. So till then students, keep on studying, keep on watching my videos, and again, if you have any query, you can ask me anytime. Best of luck, take care.